Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome one and all. Samantha and I are so excited to have you join us today on what seems just like a really strange astrological time, right, Samantha? Can you feel it in the air? And as you just said, before we began recording, is that there's a lot going on. So be good to talk about today, huh?
Yes, absolutely. And while I believe that we are always empowered and in our own power to choose and to co-create our reality, I do believe that the planets and the nodes and what's going on in the cosmos also has an effect, right? And when people think
Totally.
that astrology is completely nonsense or that the moon can't affect us, well, just look at water. The moon
Yes.
completely controls, water on the planet, and water's our emotions. And there's so much about
And
astrology.
what are we? What are
We're
we, right?
just,
Water.
yeah.
We are 75 to 80% water. And so, and we're also made of energy, and so are the planets. And there's a reason why, there's archetypal energetic associations with them. It's because people have been noticing this for eons, right? And
Exactly.
yeah, and they feel the way that we feel like now, noticing these crazy energies and like, what the hell's going on? And I know personally, when I feel like this, I'm like, all right, what's going on in the stars? What's happening out there? Because I think it's something a little extra than just me right now.
Exactly. And so when you are listening to this on the day that we're recording, well, if you're listening to it on the day it's releasing on Wednesday, it is the blood moon in Sagittarius on Wednesday, May 26th. And blood moons, Sagittarius, there's a lot going on there. And then we're also going into the lunar eclipse, right? There's a lunar eclipse happening. And then Mercury is going in retrograde a few days later. And then a week after that, we have a solar eclipse. And so I'll read you a little bit of what's happening here with this lunar eclipse, as well as the of blood moon in Sagittarius. I just, love some of these astrological forecasts. And I'll just read you a little short thing here, Erica, and all you listeners. It's really asking us to release any outdated belief systems or unrealistic ideals standing in the way of your utmost growth and expansion. The lunar eclipse will also further be emphasizing how you communicate, your mental processes, and your ability to recognize the bigger picture. It's really a great time to allow yourself to release any emotions without trying to harness the lunar energy in terms of manifestation or too much attachment to an outcome, but really to do the inner work, to be aware, to process, and to release.
Wow. Amazing. What a beautiful time, right? But what comes along with that, it's not so easy. It's not so easy going through changing times because it can feel so completely unsettling and stressful and maybe sometimes fearful, right? Because you just don't know what's going to happen. But what I think is so beautiful about these times is that they are for our growth and for our evolution. And so we have to go through these releasing periods in order to do that, right? And what's the point really of carrying through these outdated beliefs, these old programs? So many of the
Yeah.
people that I see, what comes up for them is this idea that they were raised with and this implantation in their mind of who they are because of what their parents have either told them or what they've overheard them saying throughout their lives. And now they're grown adults and they don't live with their parents anymore. And so they don't have to listen to that story. They can tell their own, right? So this is a perfect time to let all of that go and start a new day, a whole new life, because that's what we're being offered with these eclipses. It's like the death of one thing and the birth of another. Beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And that's it. I love what you said, uh, when we were going through the early years where we're being reared and really programmed and conditioned, which we like to beautifully called socialized,
Yeah.
we are being programmed in, and the thoughts and the beliefs and the feelings of our parents, specifically our mother or a primary caregiver,
Yeah.
so greatly affects us. It affects our neurobiology. It affects the way that we feel and the way that we think and the way that we act. And
Hmm.
so often when, people take an opportunity to look at themselves and the way that they think and act and feel, they realize that, oh, wow, wait, this is the exact way that my mom felt.
Yeah.
And I just learned to feel this way. Is this even
Yeah.
me?
Right. Yeah. And then there's also this perspective of like you learn this thing as a child from the child perspective. So maybe something happened to you at 2 years old that made you feel unwanted or unloved, right? But, and then you've carried that energy through with you, but you don't understand why. And then when you can look at it as an adult and see the situation differently and see, oh, mom was just tired. It was really hard raising 4 kids. And she didn't not love me. I just took it that way. And as an adult now, I can see it. And in that understanding, I can let it go. I can love that little 2-year-old and say, you are loved. Look at this. This is a new
Yeah.
story. You can see it from this perspective. And I love this too. This is the energy to see the bigger picture, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. That is so well said. And this time, the way that I like to use these kind of times is asking myself, what is getting in the way? What is
Hmm.
holding me back from being the happiest, healthiest, most free, fulfilled, abundant, successful, content? What's holding me back? What is the thorn? What's in the way? And I write down a list of the things that are in the way. And if there's a list of 20 things, well, I focus on two at a time
Hmm.
or one at
Hmm.
a time if that's even overwhelming. And I just go, okay, I'm going to alchemize, I'm going to transform, I'm going to fix, I'm going to work on one at a time, because that's really what it takes. Our happiest, healthiest, most abundant self is available to us. There's just a
Hmm.
lot of gunk in
Yeah,
between us and that version of us. And so it's just about removing the not useful, removing the gunky, the sticky, the thorny, so that you can really get to that place where you are just the most embodied and empowered version of you.
totally. Yeah. And I think a way to do that too is to look at all of those things that are getting in your way, right? And ask yourself, is that even true? Is that actually something that's true? And then you might
Yeah.
realize it's not. Oftentimes it's not because typically something that's getting in our way is something that is fear based. And fear is always an illusion. And
Yeah.
so if we can really sit with that and see it, then it's easier to let go and alchemize. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. And one huge illusion is where we have a limiting belief and then
Hmm.
we think that it's truth because our reality affirms it. For instance,
Hmm.
um, somebody saying, well, I am not athletic. Okay, well, if I would say, well, how do you know that? Well, I can't play sports. I can't play volleyball. I can't run. I can't go to the gym. I can't do anything. Okay, so then they think it's validated that they're not athletic or they can't be athletic. But if they started to go to the gym, if they picked up a sport, if they learned it and then they became it, well, then they would be athletic. And, or even saying, oh, I have terrible luck. Well, if you say you have terrible luck and then reality shows you all of this terrible luck, it's not proving to you that you have terrible luck. It's just reflecting to you the belief that you hold. And as soon as you start to shift that belief to, ooh, I'm opening up to having an amazing life with so much luck, that will be reflected to you.
Yeah. All it is the energy, the intention, the focus. Like we talked about last week, it is the focus that is what creates the energy. So there's a potential and there's a kinetic, right? Everything exists in potential. And so how do you make that a kinetic, an active energy? Well, you put a focus into it. And that's it. That's
Hmm.
totally how it works. It's that simple.
Yeah, this is so good. This is really lining up with a conversation I actually just had with my brother right before this call. And he was saying, Sam, I know the answers. Like, I know what I need to do for my
Mm-hmm.
health. I know what I need to eat. I know that I need to exercise. I know I need to see the mantras. I know, but he's like, I just can't. It's just, I'm having a really hard time just doing it. I always, I always quit, or I just can't get into the rhythm of it. I can't get into the habit of it. I don't know why. I just can't do it. And I see this all the time. And I imagine that this is
Mm-hmm.
something that a lot of people, they make a plan, they make a commitment, they do it for a day or two, and then the motivation drops,
Yep.
or the inspiration drops, and they fall back into the old self, the old identity. Do you see
Yep.
this often too,
Oh
Erica?
yeah, very, very, very often, of course.
Yeah. So shall we talk about that for anyone who's stuck in that, who knows they want to make a change, who knows that there's these negative habits and thoughts and actions, but they just can't seem to shift out of that? What
Yeah,
would,
yeah, that's huge.
yeah,
Hmm.
what would you recommend?
Well, I would consider these things as a self-love practice, right? All of these things that we do in order to further our growth and involvement are all practices, right? And we have to start practicing. We have to do it. So we have to like force ourselves really. And if we can tell ourselves, I love myself enough to do this today, right? Just this time, sometimes you have to force yourself to go to the gym, and you have to force yourself to eat a healthy meal at first, because then once you start doing it and just applying the practices, then you start wanting it because you can feel the difference, right? But I think for me, knowing that it is a practice and that it's something that I can do little by little that will help grow. And knowing that it is that aspect of taking care of myself that really, people say, how do I love myself? How do I move forward with this? Just, you have to do little things. You have to force yourself to do it.
Yes, that is exactly it, like really committing to it, and being committed to the doing. And then some people say, well, I can't even. Like, that's where I'm blocked. Like, I can't force myself to do it. So when I see this, I feel like there's another layer that we need to tap into,
Yeah.
and it's working on the identity level, because
Hmm.
you will not be able to do the actions if your identity is still attached to, I'm a person that quits, I am
Hmm.
not a healthy person, I am somebody who's lazy, I'm not motivated. So we need to work on the identity level of the way that you choose to see yourself and the way you choose to speak about yourself. And so
Yeah.
starting to use affirmations and visualization. I am a person that values my health. I am a
Hmm.
person that prioritizes. I am a healthy person. I am an active person. And you say it over and over and over, and you see it, you write it on your vision board, you really anchor it in. And then as it makes it so much easier, because now it's not just that you're a lazy person who is forcing yourself to work out, but you're a person who's becoming an active person. and
Hmm.
and then it's just easier because active people work out.
Right.
And like that identity shift and the stories you tell about yourself is
Hmm.
such a huge key in really shifting the way that you engage with your life.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like we were just talking about, where's your focus? And you get to decide, are you going to tell the story of I can't or the story of I can? And which feels better to you in your heart when you ask yourself, I can't or I can? And most people are going to say it feels better to say I can. Well, then do that.
Yeah.
Just say I can, because that's what feels good in my heart. The other one feels a little icky, right? I
Yeah.
can't doesn't feel good, and it's not true. Again, is that true? No, it's not. You're just telling that story, and that's where you're putting your focus. So that's what you're seeing, right? So it's really
Yes.
reshifting. And even if you don't believe it at first, I know when I first started to do this work, I didn't believe it. And I was lying to myself. And you know what? That's fine. If I have to lie to myself that I love myself just to get there, I'm all right with that, because it's not really a lie. I just feel like it is at the moment because my
Yes.
conscious mind is telling me that.
That's it. Yeah. And if it's too far to reach from, okay, well, I know I hate myself to I love myself, well, there can be, what are the little steps that are in between? So for me, it would be, okay, I hate myself. Well, I'm willing to hate myself a little less. I'm willing
Mhm.
to give myself a little grace today. Okay, you know what? I'm open to the idea of potentially loving myself. Okay, well, I'm open to the idea of doing a self-love practice. Well, I'm open to the idea that I might deserve love. Okay, maybe I do deserve love. Okay, well, I am open to starting to love myself. I am working on loving myself. Well, I do deserve love. Okay, I do. I'm loving myself more than I did before. and you go from there, and you take the small little steps, and it helps you to believe it because it's true for you in that moment, and it can bridge the gap of feeling like you're lying to yourself, because a lot of people just quit there. And
Mm-hmm.
you just got to keep going, because sometimes there does need to be maybe even 100 steps between hating and loving yourself, but it's such a journey, and each little step will get you closer and closer and closer, and all of a sudden you're going to look back and be like, oh my god, I didn't love myself. How is that possible? I am the greatest.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, totally. And I think too, little ways you can get yourself there is like asking yourself, in what ways am I amazing? Like, what do I do really well? Why do my friends love me? Why do my kids love me? Why does my partner love me? You know? And I can start to see that in myself and be like, okay, yeah, that is pretty amazing. Right. And doing that and practicing that, and then taking a good look at those things that you don't like about yourself. Right. And you'll
Yeah.
see that in your reflections around you as well. And then you can really empower yourself to say, all right, well, how can I change that? And how can I make improvements on that so I can like that piece of me a little bit more, or even accept it a little bit more? Right. And
Yes.
so that is a huge one as well.
That's so
Just
good.
pivot
And
again your focus, right? Like, yeah, just
yes,
look at the good stuff and examine the bad stuff, but don't stay there and harp on it. Yeah.
that's exactly it. And if you're somebody who's listening to this and you're saying, yeah, well, I don't have friends, I don't have a partner, I don't have kids, I'm alone and I don't like anything about myself. Well, we have a step for you as well. The first step would be asking, well, what would I like to like about myself? What would be
Mhm.
cool? What would be cool if there was something about me that I actually liked? What could that maybe
Mhm.
be? And what could be a cool hobby to try? What would I want to get good at? And if no ideas come to your mind, Google it, search
Yeah, yeah.
100 possible hobbies, or 10 skills to learn, or just anything, and just pick one, because a little bit of momentum, just a little bit of momentum will really fuel your ambition, and then your ambition fuels your momentum. And if you really can't do anything at all, and you're just really in the dumps, feeling super depressed, feeling like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, if there's only one thing that you do, just go take a walk. Go walk in a beautiful area, go walk in nature, go walk by water, and just breathe and walk, because that even can start to shift the energy and move you into a different place and state.
It totally can. And you know what's fun too? Like you were just saying at the beginning, wouldn't it be fun, right? I think that's such a great way to imagine and actually be in that moment. Like, wouldn't it be fun if I would feel more like this, or I would do these things? Wouldn't it be fun? And then you actually see yourself doing that because you're imagining the fun in it, right? It's a beautiful way to manifest.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so good. Well, I would love to know what everyone is looking to let go of, or manifest, or create, or whatever's coming up for you. We love seeing it in the Facebook group, or even, on Instagram. So you can always reach out to us or write it in the Facebook group. What does this full moon eclipse, solar eclipse time, what does this mean for you? We would love, love, love to know.
Absolutely. You guys, thanks so much for joining us. We are going to leave you with a song for today. This is Satsang, Be Love, featuring Tubby Love. Until next time, we love you all.
Love you.
Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
Sad song on the track, yeah. Tubby Love got your back, see. Alright. Yeah, yeah. Well, these days it's hard to be, hard to let go, said it's hard to see. It seems there's always something trying to keep us down. War of a world turned upside down. But I see love, so sing it out. Well, this song is timeless, transcending the world and unscathed by violence. And I won't let them harden me. Well, I know there's work to do. Putting my gloves on, said I work with you. Cause I know we can be the change, yeah. But sometimes it's hard, but it must be done. So I'm gonna be love, I'm gonna birth strength, gonna be where I'm at and give thanks. Take my time, admit when I'm wrong, write it all down and sing a new song. I'm gonna be free, gonna be me, cause I know that it's all that I have to be. I'ma be bold, find strength there. Oh, now I'm gonna be love. I'm gonna be love, yeah. I'm gonna be love, yeah. I'm gonna be love, yeah.
This one's for my tribe. One tribe. Because we're all in this together, living in crucial times. Yeah, and we can make a change. If we can learn how to love each other and how to live in a sacred way. Great Creator, keep on growing us strong. Keep it growing strong. Give us roots in our foundation to carry the healing song, yeah. If this is our chance to truly make a difference and get off the fence, grab your friends and get into it. We can all sing, try it out.
Well, sometimes it's hard, but it must be done. So I'm gonna be love, I'm gonna birth strength, gonna be where I'm at and give thanks. Take my time, admit when I'm wrong, write it all down and sing a new song. I'm gonna be free, gonna be me, cause I know that it's all that I have to be. I'ma be bold, find strength there. Oh, now I'm gonna be love. I'm gonna be love, yeah. I'm gonna be love.
Be love, love, love.
I'm gonna be love, yeah.
Come on.
I need my mama to tell me that everything is okay. I need my father to call me and say, remember to pray. I need my brothers and my sisters in different phases, reminding me wherever I'm at, that's where my place is. I know I won't be here long, and I know that I'm often wrong, but I got this song, said I was meant to sing it. If you got one, come bring it. Now let go of hate and we'll co-create. I said a song that could heal the nation. No more waiting, twiddling my thumbs, but I lost my patience. Time to unify, cause that's where the strength is. I know it's hard to be the change when everything looking so strange. Gotta stay hopeful, gotta take time to pray. We need guidance if we're gonna try to lead the way. Sometimes it's hard, but it must be done. So I'm gonna be love, I'm gonna birth strength, gonna be where I'm at and give thanks. Take my time, admit when I'm wrong, write it all down and sing a new song. I'm gonna be free, gonna be me, cause I know that it's all that I have to be. I'ma be bold, find strength there. Oh, now I'm gonna be I'm gonna be love. I'm gonna be love, yeah. I'm gonna be love. I'm gonna be love, yeah.
Just be love.